Welcome to Decodiva, your cozy corner of vintage home decor inspiration. Today, we're diving into the dreamy world of garden rooms, Martha Stewart style, where vintage tools, wicker furniture, and time-worn charm transform any space into a serene retreat. Whether you're planning a full makeover or looking for small touches of nostalgia, this episode is filled with ideas to inspire. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you never miss a new video. Like this one if you love vintage vibes, and drop a comment telling us which garden room detail is your favorite. We read every single one. Now grab your favorite cup of tea, settle into a comfy chair, and let's take a stroll through Martha Stewart's vision of old-fashioned garden room elegance. You're about to fall in love with peeling paint, patina, and the poetry of bygone eras. A garden room is more than just a space, it's a feeling. It's where nature meets nurture, and Martha Stewart has always understood how to blur that line beautifully. Garden rooms invite us to slow down and surround ourselves with beauty, functionality, and personality. These rooms typically blend indoor comfort with outdoor freshness. Think wide windows, potted plants, and furnishings that feel lived in but lovely. It's not just about aesthetics, it's about creating a personal oasis that's both restorative and refined. With vintage touches as the backbone, a Martha-style garden room becomes a curated mix of antiques, floral prints, and heirloom pieces, making every corner feel thoughtful and intentional. Martha Stewart knows the charm of wicker like no one else. Whether it's a crisp white wicker armchair or a honey-toned settee, wicker adds texture, history, and a whisper of summertime leisure to any garden room. Vintage wicker furniture, especially with gently worn arms or faded cushions, tells a story. Pair it with botanical prints or soft linen throws, and suddenly you have a piece that's both stylish and soulful. Look for pieces at estate sales or flea markets, those with intricate weaves and curved silhouettes. They age gracefully and only get better with time, much like Martha's timeless aesthetic. Nothing captures rustic elegance quite like old garden tools hung lovingly on the wall. From wooden-handled trowels to rusted spades, Martha turns them into art, practical items reborn as decorative treasures. Clustered above a bench or lined up in a shadow box, these tools whisper of hours spent in the garden, hands in the soil, and sun on your face. It's a beautiful nod to history and horticulture alike. You can mount them on reclaimed wood panels or even tuck them into glass cloches as conversation starters. Either way, they add character and authenticity to your garden room like nothing else can. The potting table is a centerpiece in Martha's garden rooms, weathered, sturdy, and full of charm. These tables aren't just workspaces, they're the heart of the garden room, where beauty and purpose collide. Look for tables with chippy paint, visible knots, and signs of age. Layer them with terracotta pots, seed packets, and old watering cans for an effortlessly curated look. You can also use these tables as buffets for tea, shelves for herb displays, or even writing desks. The versatility, combined with vintage charm, makes them a must-have. To elevate the walls, Martha brings in vintage botanical prints, framed, faded, and utterly delightful. These add a scholarly yet soft touch to the space, nodding to both nature and nostalgia. You might find these prints at antique bookshops or printable online collections. Look for aged paper tones and Latin plant names to get that museum-worthy effect. Pair them in mismatched frames or create a symmetrical gallery wall for a more polished take. Either way, it's a tribute to the natural world through an artistic lens. When it comes to color, Martha's garden rooms sing in soft, time-worn tones: sage greens, dusty roses, parchment whites, and pale grays. These shades create calm and cohesion. Vintage doesn't mean drab, it means layers of color softened by time. Think of an old seed packet or a sun-faded shutter, that's your inspiration. Incorporate these tones in your walls, upholstery, and accessories to build a gentle, inviting atmosphere. The result? A room that whispers rather than shouts. No Martha-inspired room is complete without florals, fresh, dried, or printed. They bring life to any corner and reinforce the connection to the garden outside. Drape floral fabrics on cushions or curtains, or tuck dried hydrangeas into vintage pitchers. Even a simple jar of daisies can work wonders in a space like this. For something more permanent, consider floral wallpaper with a vintage pattern, subtle and charming, like a grandmother's parlor reimagined. Martha has long celebrated utilitarian beauty, and vintage crockery, like ironstone pitchers, mixing bowls, and ceramic jars, is a staple in her garden room decor. These pieces, with their weight and wear, offer both elegance and function. Use them as planters, vases, or simple sculptural accents on open shelving. Look for crazing, those fine hairline cracks in the glaze, and maker's marks. They add authenticity and character. Even a chipped piece has a story worth telling. One of Martha's biggest lessons in vintage decor is to embrace patina. It's the glow that comes from age, on metal, wood, glass, and more. Patina makes a space feel lived in and loved. Don't rush to repaint or polish. Let brass tarnish, let wood show scratches, and let glass cloud just a bit. These imperfections are what make vintage spaces sing. In a garden room, this philosophy invites peace and authenticity. You're not trying to impress, you're trying to feel at home. Martha Stewart is a master at mixing high and low, and that means plenty of vintage finds from thrift stores, flea markets, and attic boxes. The thrill is in the hunt, an old enamel basin here, a three-legged stool there. Each find adds texture and personality that can't be bought off the shelf. don't be afraid to mix eras and finishes. A mid-century plant stand can look fabulous next to a Victorian watering can. Let the pieces speak, and your space will follow. What's a garden room without greenery? Martha encourages the layering of plants, potted, hanging, trailing, to bring energy and freshness to the space. Try a mix of leafy plants, flowering varieties, and even edibles like herbs. Use vintage vessels as planters for an extra layer of charm. Think beyond the usual pots. Use enamelware, wooden boxes, or cracked teacups. Each plant becomes not just greenery, but part of the decor. To make the space truly inviting, textiles are essential. Layer cushions, throws, and rugs, mixing florals with checks, linens with velvets. Martha's approach is tactile and warm. Choose vintage or vintage-inspired fabrics that soften the space while adding color and pattern. Drape a quilt over a wicker chair, toss a fringed pillow on a garden bench, or lay a faded Turkish rug beneath your potting table. Every layer adds warmth. Lighting is key in a Martha-style garden room. Embrace natural light, but supplement it with vintage lamps, candle sconces, and even chandeliers for evening ambience. soft lighting adds that golden hour glow all day long. Think milk glass lampshades, wrought iron bases, or glass lanterns for the perfect touch. Don't forget fairy lights or candles tucked into mason jars. They add magic at twilight and elevate the everyday. One of Martha's genius ideas is to let your garden room evolve with the seasons. Swap out floral prints for plaids in the fall, or bring in fresh tulips in spring. Seasonal changes keep the room feeling alive and connected to the world outside. It's also a great way to refresh without redecorating completely. Use nature as your guide: dried wheat in autumn, citrus garlands in winter, cherry blossoms in spring. It's simple, beautiful, and always in style. Thank you so much for spending time with us today on Decodiva. We hope Martha Stewart's garden room style has inspired you to mix vintage beauty with a bit of botanical magic in your own home. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and leave a comment sharing your favorite vintage garden room detail. We absolutely love hearing from you. Until next time, keep curating your cozy corners and finding joy in the time-worn treasures. See you soon.